Alright, so, welcome back to Patreon requests. As always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, hit the 3rd tier. That'll allow you access to do allow you to send me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. But anyway, let's get started with the first of our requests for today. And our first one we're going to be doing today is one from Tom Hibbert, who asked me to do a 3-way crossover between Duck Dodgers, Space Dandy, and Critters. So let's get started. So the story begins with Dodgers and the cadet being brought to IQ, who has essentially got a high-rank mission for them. And so he tells them. It's more like, I want to get this done. No one wants the job, but I know Dodgers is dumb enough to do it. So Dodgers comes in. He's like, "What's up, IQ, my man? What do you need? Like, what do you got me to do today?" And he's like, "Well, Dodgers, it's a high-risk mission. We need you to. It's a prison transfer. It's a prison transfer." And he's like, "Prison transfer? Well, who's a prisoner?" And I don't do I don't do prisoners unless it's like, hot girl prisons, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Unfortunately, yes, but no, we need you to transport the last two of this race, known as the Krites." And they're like, "Aren't they? They don't look so bad." He tries to go for one, it bites his finger. He's, of course, like Dodger's like banging it on the wall, like trying to get it off. And Cadet is talking to IQ, and he's like, "You chose Dodgers because no one else wanted the job, right?" And he's like, "Mm-hmm." So Dodgers is like, "All right, I'll get the why aren't they being sent to like a zoo or something?" He's like, because the Krites are some of the most dangerous beings on the planet, and these two are set for extinction. These are the last two Krites in the galaxy. They've been and they're being sent to this prison to be executed because they were a plague on multiple planets. Dodgers, I need you to get to that prison planet and end the threat of the Krites forever." And he's like, "On it, IQ. Can I stop for dinner?" "No, you can't stop for fast food. Go!" So Dodgers and the cadet take the Krites, put them in the cargo hold, and shoot off to the prison where they will be executed. But the thing of it is that it's not easy. It's not as easy as one would think, because, well, someone else wants that, because a certain species a bounty hunter who specializes in collecting and identifying new species, has gotten a massive contract. Has found out there's a massive contract to preserve the last two Krites and bring them to a private museum, to a private preserve. And there's a lot of zeros to that number. There's quite a lot of zeros. So that person is Dandy, Space Dandy, and his lovable robot QT at his side. So Dandy has basically been looking high and low for the Krites. He didn't realize that they were already in custody until, like, he was talking around at a bar, and one of the members of the one of the other space cadets is like, "Oh yeah, someone took the Krites job," and he's like, "Oh really? Who took that job, my friend? Who was curious enough? Who was brave enough to take that job?" And it's more like stupid enough. The only guy who took it was a guy named Duck Dodgers. Dodgers. Well, Destiny has come calling, and she's dropped her underwear. I will slip in and take Destiny by the vagina. And QT's just like, I fucking hate you. I really fucking do. So Dandy heads off to find Dodgers. Meanwhile, Dodgers himself is like, "Man, I tell you, Cadet, this is easy. This has been the most. I thought we'd get into shenanigans. I thought we're about like 2 hours away from this prison transport, and like nothing's happened. Like I thought I'd screw up and cause problems." And Cadet's like, "I know, and now you jinxed it because now something is going to happen." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm sorry." So exactly that moment, they get attacked by another ship, and that ship is Dandy's ship. And Dodgers is like, "Ah, great. They're here for the Krites. How do you know? Why else would they be here? This fanfiction plot isn't going to write itself." Um, so Dodgers and Cadet go into battle formation, and it becomes a space battle between Dodgers and Dandy. And the two of them are like trying to outfox one another, like it's a dogfight in the spaceways, and the two of them are just trying to like outfox one another and get the get the edge on the other. But as they're fighting back and forth, the Krites break out and manage to, during the chaos, the Krites have managed to break out of their their little holding pen, and are now like eating their way through the ship, causing more Krites to be formed. And by that point, the Cadet, like Dodgers is like, "Hey, Cadet, I go check on our on those prisoners real fast. Step on them if you have to." Yes, sir. So Cadet goes down deep into the ship and he immediately discovers that the Krites have not only broken out, but they're like eating like all the food in their kitchen. And that's when Cadet calls Dodgers, and he's like, "Captain Dodgers, they're in the kitchen." And he's like, "My chalupa!" So he immediately stops. Dodgers stops what he's doing and runs to the kitchen to see the Krites have already started eating his chalupa, and he's like, "Get away from her, you furballs!" And it literally because like this would be like this is under Warner Brothers. If there was a moment with Critters and Duck Dodgers, they would totally be an homage to Gremlins, where Dodgers and the Cadet literally kill some of the Gremlins. I mean, Critters like the Gremlins. Like the Cadet slams one in the microwave, pushes it till it explodes. Dodgers gets one with a knife, but instead it probably wouldn't be a knife. It'd probably be like a baseball bat that he just bludgeoned with. Cadet turns on the mixer and just starts slicing it up. One gets trapped in a blender, things like that. So obviously Dandy has discovered that the other ship has stopped moving, and he's like, "All right, QT, I'm getting ready to board. I'm gonna get those Krites and all that money. You just stay here and look pretty, as a robot can be." So Dandy boards the Dodgers ship, and he already sees that it's utter chaos. Like it is some DEFCON 1 shit going on, and it's pretty bad. Like it has gotten to a ridiculous level of suck at this point, because the Krites are now like eating through the ship and all of that, and Dandy shows up and he's like, "I'm gonna make so much money." And by this point, Dodgers and the Cadet are like taking out as many Krites as they can, while they're also all the Krites like realize, "Duck, pig, mother." So now they're running, and that's when they run into Dandy, and he's like, "Who the heck are you?" And he's like, "The name's Dandy, Space Dandy, and I'm no time, idiot. We gotta run." And that's when Dandy sees like a Krite ball rolling towards them, and he's like, "Oh God!" So they run, and what happens is Dodgers, Dandy, and the Cadet basically have to run through the ship like an Indiana Jones scene. They have to run through the whole damn ship until eventually they manage to find an airlock. They open it, the airlock and suck all the Krites out, and they go spewing out into the gap into the spaceways. So they'll start like popping, because it's deep space. They're gonna freeze and pop like little balloons. And Dodgers is watching like, ugh, gross. Well, if it's any consolation, they were going to be, they were on their way to execution anyway. It's fine. Or so they would think, because the same two damn Krites that that Dodgers had survived, and now they've got control of the ship and are moving towards are redirecting what's left of the ship towards a colony that they can start feeding on and restart their population. So now Dandy's like, "Well, I came here to take them," and he's like, "Well, we're here to destroy them. Maybe we can help each other out here." So Dandy and Dodgers get onto the ship's bridge, find the Krites like piloting the ship, and they immediately like try to grab them with like a big dog catcher net, like a big cartoonish dog catcher net, try to scoop them up that eats through the net, and they're like, you know, I should have realized that that wasn't gonna work. But yeah, eventually the Krites do, like, the Krites are bringing the ship to, like, into a crash landing position, leading to Dandy, like, grabbing the ship and trying to pull it out of you know, a death dive. And meanwhile, Dodgers is, like, trying to corral the Krites, until he eventually does. He does get them with it, like, in a big shoebox, and then puts a cinder blocks on that shoebox, puts an anvil on that shoebox, puts a stack of unread books on that, and then proceeds to put a car on it. Why? Where is he getting these things? Shut up! It's Looney Tunes. So all of that doesn't help because the Krites just eat through the floor and just go down. But then they're actually caught by the cadet, like, who was waiting underneath and just had, like, a bag, and he's like, "Good work, cadet. How'd you know that would happen? How'd you know that would happen?" "It's you, Captain. I was expecting the worst." So the Krites are captured, but it does lead to a conundrum of, because Dandy wants them, still wants the money. He even turns a gun on his blaster on them. Dodgers turns his on and is like, "Well, seems like we've come to an impasse, friend. How much money was that, though?" And he's like, "Lot of zeros." Like, how many? 35 zeros at the end of that check. He's like, and it cuts away, and they're like, unfortunately, IQ, the Krites became too dangerous, and we had to destroy them in the airlock. We had to annihilate them. And IQ's like, well, unfortunately, that's the galaxy would prefer the next intergalactic public execution, but that will be fine. Dodgers, good work. Can't believe I said that. But what really is, Dandy split the money with Dodgers. Cadet also is like, what? I can be greedy too. And Dandy takes it to the buyer, and the Krites are allowed to live another day. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much Duck Dodgers, Space Dandy, and Critters. I want to thank Tom Hibbert for this Patreon request and continued patronage. Like I said before, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head over to my Patreon, hit the 3rd tier, and that'll allow you to send me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.